What's up, punters? Welcome back to the channel. Game week 14 of the English Premier League is here, and you know what that means: fresh odds, value picks, and the smartest angles to beat the bookmakers this week. From high-confidence home wins to tricky away fixtures, potential upsets, goal market gems, and both teams to score bankers, we are breaking down every match with form data and betting value in mind. If you are looking for the safest picks, risky long shots, accumulator boosters, and the best odds range to target, you are in the right place. Let's get these slips ready. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a game week betting breakdown. Now, let's dive into the game week 14 predictions and find the winners. After both coming out on the wrong end of 5-goal scorelines over the weekend, Bournemouth and Everton collide in Tuesday's Premier League showdown at the Vitality Stadium. The Cherries' plight continued in a gut-wrenching 3-2 defeat to Sunderland on Saturday, shortly before the Toffees' 4-1 home humbling at the hands of Newcastle United. The hectic fixture schedule puts all teams' squad depth to the test, but Everton are lacking in that regard compared to Bournemouth, who can make more menacing attacking alterations than their visitors. The Cherries' praiseworthy home record is also difficult to overlook, so we have faith in Iraola's men to pull themselves out of their rut. So I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Bournemouth win, and my betting tip is total over 8.5 corner kicks. Manchester City travel to Craven Cottage on Tuesday evening to face Fulham in an intriguing Premier League encounter on matchday 14. The Citizens enter the round sitting second in the table with 25 points at the time of writing, while the Cottagers occupy 15th position with 17 points as they continue to search for consistency under Marco Silva. Manchester City's superior individual quality and tactical structure should give them the edge, even at a difficult ground like Craven Cottage. Fulham's strong home form suggests they will create chances and may get on the scoresheet, but City's head-to-head dominance and deeper squad should ultimately secure them all 3 points. So I'm gonna go for a 1-3 Manchester City win, and my betting tip is total over 2.5 goals. Separated only by goal difference in the middle of the Premier League rankings, inconsistent Newcastle United and declining Tottenham Hotspur tussle in Tuesday's midweek clash at St James Park. Eddie Howe's men roared to a 4-1 trouncing of Everton over the weekend, while their visitors' spate of home horror shows continued in a 2-1 loss to Fulham. Head-to-head history is not always the best indicator of future results, but St James Park has been a cursed ground for Spurs down the years, and it was only a few weeks ago that Howe's side eased to a 2-0 EFL Cup win in this fixture. The same outcome is entirely plausible this week, as Newcastle's stellar home form will surely trump Spurs' pleasing away record while the Lily-Whites struggle to create chances and avoid defensive catastrophes. So I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Newcastle win, and my betting tip is total over 9.5 corner kicks. The London derbies continue coming thick and fast for Premier League leaders Arsenal, whose next all-capital clash comes at home to Brentford on Wednesday evening. The Gunners were forced to settle for a 1-1 draw at 10-man Chelsea over the weekend, while the European chasing bees took down Burnley 3-1 on home soil. Brentford talisman Thiago could smell blood against a Saliba and Gabriel-less Arsenal defence, but Brentford's main concern on Wednesday may be keeping the Gunners out, especially considering their dire away record this season. However, this is the time for Arsenal's significant squad depth to come to the fore, and while it may not be straightforward, the leaders should return to winning ways. So I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Arsenal win, and my betting tip is Arsenal money line. Looking to avoid 5 straight defeats at the top table of English football, relegation-threatened Burnley welcome Crystal Palace to Turf Moor in the Premier League on Wednesday night. The Clarets suffered late heartbreak in the capital at the hands of Brentford on the weekend, whilst the Eagles' excellent run of form at Selhurst Park halted against Manchester United. After a difficult run of fixtures to conclude November, The beginning of the festive schedule brings the challenge of FA Cup holders Crystal Palace to Lancashire. The Eagles have suffered a pair of setbacks in recent times but will fancy their chances of making amends at Turf Moor on Wednesday night. So I'm gonna go for a 1-2 Crystal Palace win, and my betting tip is total over 1.5 goals. Fifth battles fourth when Brighton and Hove Albion lock horns with Aston Villa in the Premier League on Wednesday, December 3rd. Both teams are looking in great nick, and with only 2 points separating them, this fixture at the Amex Stadium should be nothing short of a thriller. Brighton's home form cannot be ignored, as they have proven tough to beat on their own patch. Furthermore, Villa showed last week that they struggled to break down stubborn defences, and relied on a moment to snatch 3 points, something that may not come easily at the Amex Stadium. So I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Brighton win, and my betting tip is total over 2.5 goals. Still on the hunt for their first Premier League success of the 2025-26 campaign, Wolverhampton Wanderers welcome Nottingham Forest to Molineux for an all-important clash on Wednesday night. The hosts were arguably unlucky to lose Sunday's West Midlands derby at Aston Villa, whereas the Tricky Trees only had themselves to blame for a home loss to Brighton and Hove Albion. After a valiant performance at Villa on the weekend, Wolves will be hopeful that Wednesday is the day that they can finally break their Premier League duck. That being said, Forest are likely to be in mood to make amends following a poor loss to Brighton, with the visitors more than good enough to earn 3 points at Molineux. So I'm gonna go for a 1-2 Nottingham Forest win, and my betting tip is total over 1.5 goals. Squaring up to a side whom he is yet to beat in a competitive game, Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca takes his team to Elland Road for a Premier League date with Leeds United on Wednesday night. The Blues came out of Sunday's clash with Arsenal with a creditable 1-1 draw, but the Whites' Etihad efforts were in vain in a 3-2 loss to Manchester City last time out. Leeds may have come out on the wrong end of the scoreline against Man City, but their inspired second-half performance after a few tweaks offers genuine hope for the visit of another title-chasing team. The Whites' defensive frailties will not be solved overnight, though, and Chelsea boss Maresca can bring plenty of fresh legs into his attacking quartet, so the Blues should still emerge triumphant. So I'm gonna go for a 1-2 Chelsea win, and my betting tip is total over 2.5 goals. Whether Liverpool's West Ham United triumph was a false dawn or a sign of better things to come will become clearer in Wednesday's Premier League home clash against high-flying Sunderland. While the Reds strolled to a 2-0 victory at the London Stadium over the weekend, the Black Cats had to erase a 2-0 deficit in a chaotic 3-2 win over Bournemouth at the Stadium of Light. Liverpool's successes over Aston Villa and Real Madrid preceded an abysmal 3-match losing run, so there is no guarantee that victory against West Ham will trigger a Reds revival, especially against a Sunderland side with their tails as high as can be. However, Le Brise's men have not yet found the formula for attacking success on the road, and a rejuvenated Kop should help propel the champions to a second straight Premier League win. So I'm gonna go for 2-0 Liverpool win, and my betting tip is Liverpool money line. Manchester United gear up for a vital Premier League encounter against a struggling West Ham side at Old Trafford on the 4th of December. The hosts look to solidify their European ambitions, while the visitors aim to lift themselves away from the lower reaches of the table. This meeting pits two sides in distinctly contrasting runs of form and confidence. All evidence points to Manchester United being strong favourites, especially given recent form and home advantage. Their attacking momentum and record at Old Trafford suggest that they should find a way past a leaky West Ham backline. So I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Manchester United win, and my betting tip is total over 9.5 corner kicks because this game is gonna be an end-to-end play and both teams love to attack from the wings.